Oh my goodness, what is going on? All right, I want to wake you up because it's morning time and it's time to wake up. A plan without agreement is a wish. That is the key to getting buy in on your ideas, your solutions, your problem solving efforts. And by buy in, I mean like creating, producing, generating solutions that like actually stick. And so, if you've ever solved the same problem more than once, you did not solve the problem because it reoccurred. Duh. And number two, if you feel like you're like speaking, yelling, hollering into the void, telling everybody we're running off a cliff, and nobody even stops to look back and say, what? Did somebody say there's a problem? I got something for you. And it goes back to a plan without agreement is a wish. And so I'm going to give you two things that I've learned the hard way that have helped me cultivate buy-in, cultivate trust, and actually design durable solutions that solve the problem, not just for today and not just for me, but everybody involved with the situation. My name's Jesse. I am your selfish servant, and my mission is to leave the construction industry better than I found it. And I can't do that all by my lonesome. And so I'm inviting you to jump in and contribute or continue contributing by doing the things that you're doing. And also check out the Construction Leadership Lab because we're meeting now. We have our third meeting under our belt and things are really clicking. So let's get into the two shifts. The number one shift is there is a difference between a countermeasure and a solution. And maybe an easier word to think about when you hear countermeasure is idea or suggestion. And so any of you folks out there in the Omniverse, like my problem-solving nerds, my problem-solving freaks, we know how valuable and important it is to build a discipline to not just react to every symptom, because that's typically what happens, right? We see the thing that bugs us, that stirs us into action, is actually the symptom of a bigger problem. And so we run around putting band-aids on all the symptoms, but they keep reoccurring, they keep coming up because we haven't gotten to the root or the main, the meatiest contributing factors of the situation. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about that. We can if we want. Actually, I know y'all got some experience out there in the Omniverse. So if you do have some tidbits, some knowledge, some wisdom around like getting to the root cause or causes of a problem, drop it in the comments. It's totally welcome and invited. What I want to talk more about is the difference between the countermeasure and the solution. Now, I'm from the construction industry, and I have not met a single construction professional yet that does not claim to be a problem solver, right? A lot of us, I'm a problem solver. That's what I do all day, every day. And again, that would be true if they weren't solving the same problem over and over and over. The fact that you're solving it more than once means you never solved it. And so the issue is we confuse activity for a solution. Having an idea and deploying the idea towards the issue does not mean the problem is solved. It makes us feel like we're doing our job. It makes us feel useful. It makes us feel like we're helping because yes, we took some kind of action. We did something to affect the situation, to improve it or whatever, but it's not a solution until we've proven that it has produced the outcome that we're seeking. And so that's a large reason why a lot of people are very compelled to bring up issues and have solutions to problems, and nobody listens to them. How do I know? Because I've been there, right? I was the guy, I was new to the crew, new to the department, new to the company, new to the team, and the way they were doing things didn't make sense to me because of the way I was used to doing things. And I've seen problems under different conditions, different circumstances, different teams, and I had a solution. And I would say we should do this. Number one, I hadn't cultivated any trust with the people. Number two, I didn't understand the situation from their perspective. I only cared about it from my perspective. And so I thought my idea or my way was the answer. And the truth in many occasions was they listened to me because I was so enthusiastic and energetic about it. And also because they were kind of swimming in the muck of the status quo and they're like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. But then guess what? It didn't make things better. And in a lot of situations, it made things harder and didn't solve the problem. I felt like I had won the day because I solved the problem, but I didn't. All I did was add more complexity to the situation. I felt like I accomplished something because I deployed something. But if it didn't improve the situation, guess what? It was just wasted effort and actually it was having a negative impact on the situation. And so my point in sharing all of that is maybe a little extra bonus tidbit here. When you're new to the company, new to the team, new to the group, first figure out how to do it the damn way that they're doing it, right? Like, and I don't care if your job is to come in and fix things. Go in, observe and understand the situation from a broad perspective, right? Like I know a lot of people come in and they just come in like a wrecking ball and throw all the old stuff out and here's all my new stuff and they feel good about it. And guess what? It looks new. It looks like things are changing and they are. But what we're not doing, back to the main point, is we're not vetting or verifying that all of these changes, all of these resources, all of these energies that we're putting into the new thing, are they actually smoothing out the path to the intended outcome? Because if they're not, it is not a freaking solution. And so I'm getting a little bit off track here because I'm getting excited. There is a difference between a countermeasure and a solution. So if there is a problem, let's say there's I've got a flat tire on my truck, right? Now, some things, one idea to correct the issue is change the tire. Okay. Another idea, countermeasure that we could do is get the air compressor and pump that bad boy up to the right PSI. All right. Another countermeasure is I could just get an Uber and leave the damn thing flat. Now, all of those three are countermeasures, but which one will solve the problem? And the fact of the matter, like if I go and get an Uber to go to wherever I need to go, that doesn't solve the issue. And when I get home, guess what? I'm still gonna have a flat tire. Getting the air compressor out and pumping that bad boy up, it will improve the immediate situation. That's a band-aid on the issue, right? I can put air on the tire and I can get rolling, but I haven't identified, do I have a leak? Did somebody come and vandalize it? Is there stuff in the driveway that's puncturing holes in my tires? I didn't do anything about it. So what's gonna happen? It's gonna lose air again, and I'm gonna have to get the compressor again. So I didn't solve the problem. My main point here is the ideas that we have to affect the issue that we're focused on are not solutions until we've proven that they indeed eliminate the issue. So in the case of the flat tire, pretty simple, maybe even goofy example. In the case of the flat tire, yes, I need to get air back in the damn tire. So I get air in the tire or I change the tire. Done. Easy, right? I got to go get it fixed. Those are all byproducts or consequences of the problem, symptoms of the problem, not the problem itself. So the problem is that we need to find out is what caused the leak in the tire. Some investigation is necessary to get in there and understand, okay, where did this come from? Oh shit, look, somebody threw a box of nails or a box of screws in the driveway. I need to pick up all the boxes of screws and nails, and that's one order of magnitude in terms of eliminating the likelihood of me getting a leak in a flat tire in the near future. And maybe I need to put up a gate, right? So that people ain't coming into the driveway and throwing stuff. I mean, you could take it to the nth degree, but the main point I want you to get, that I want to serve up to you is understand, or maybe start thinking, considering that your ideas to solve a problem are not solutions yet. They're not solutions until you prove that they have removed the problem. Not just in this instance, but they will continue to keep that problem from resurfacing in the future. So I'm sure you know somebody in your life that has had, I'm a problem solver. They have a million ideas. They want to do the things, and then you do them. You spend all this energy. Everybody's spinning their wheels. Flavor of the month, flavor of the week, and then things stay the same. Well, guess what? The problem wasn't solved, right? And this is why people won't listen to you. This is why people will not get on board and support your ideas or your solutions, is because you are confusing activity for solutions. It's not the same thing. So just think back. I mean, I'm sure you personally in your life, you've had a bunch of things that you had an idea about. Hell, think about your dating life, maybe. Things that you tried to fix the problem and it was still like, it didn't fix the problem. It kept happening. There's a deeper issue that you need to understand. And more importantly, if you're leading a team or leading change on a specific initiative, know that right out of the gate, you're going to have to run several, I say experiments. Actually, that's what's helped me, is I think about things in terms of experiment. Okay, here's a situation that I don't want, or maybe a situation that I want to create. Here are some ideas that I believe will get us closer to the goal. I'm going to try this one first, this one second, this one third, or maybe I'll do them concurrently. It doesn't matter. But I'm always measuring back to, okay, if I put these things into play, these ideas, these countermeasures, what is the impact that I want to see? And if they produce the impact, then guess what? They are a solution. But they're not a solution until I prove that they've impacted the outcome or produced the outcome that I'm seeking. So maybe that's the idea, right? Is think about it in terms of experimentation, and there's multiple experiments that you can run to vet out or test out your ideas that you're calling solutions. Now, you don't have to do this. You can keep doing things the way you're doing them. And if you're frustrated that people don't listen to you and the problem keeps coming up, then maybe come back and replay this and try it out. Now, the second shift that is super, super valuable, even like, wow, I'm not even going to say that because I know y'all are going to cheat. The second idea I want to put out there that is super, like, I'm going to say the ultimate cheat code to developing and designing solutions that stick is understanding the problem from multiple perspectives. And going back to the slap in the face I started this conversation with, an idea, a plan without agreement is a wish. So if you have a plan of what everybody else has to do and they have not agreed to the plan, you do not get to piss and moan about nobody being on board and not having buy-in because you didn't do the leader work of getting agreement. And we do that, like that's a very easy trip hazard to encounter because of budget pressures and schedule pressures. And then we have some ego stuff, right? Like I want to be the champion. I want to be the superstar. I'm the manager. They should listen to me and all that bullshit. I don't care what level of the organization you're at. This will benefit you 100%. Understanding the problem from multiple perspectives not only will help you design like counter ideas or that will countermeasures or ideas that will have a lasting impact. It also lowers the friction when you go to deploy those countermeasures and ideas. Why? Because it is the leader work of getting input, getting feedback, understanding what's actually going on, but with everybody that is impacted to the problem or by the problem. You know, I used the flat tire example earlier. That's a me problem. That's not a lot of people involved. But if you're leading teams, you're leading people, foreman, superintendent, head of marketing, doesn't matter. HR, finance, IT, like you have to influence people. That's the game, right? That's where you make big swings and move the ball super, super fast. And so by understanding the problem from multiple perspectives, what I mean is if there's a situation like an objective, let's just say this. They gave you an objective to increase performance by 10%, right? This is a positive one. This is like, oh my God, we got something we're losing. This is like, hey, how do we win more, right? They gave you an objective. You need to improve performance by 10%. Performance on what? I don't know. Fill in the blank. Okay. I have done this and I don't recommend it. Like, okay, then this is what we're going to do. This is what I need to do. And this is what everybody else is going to do. And then I send an email or I hold a huddle and get everybody together and give everybody marching orders. And then guess what happens? Wah, wah, nothing happens, right? Because I came up with this idea, the solution to get the 10% improvement in a silo, in a vacuum, in Jesse land, and didn't even take the time to understand how the changes were going to impact everybody involved. Now I'm going to get to the rest of this little story here, but first I want to give a shout out to my sister, Miss Gloria Marie. She said she was on IG and then switched to LinkedIn because I knew that's where you were looking. Oh yeah, so I'm like testing out live streaming on Instagram, but I'm not looking at the screen. It's kind of here off to the side. Y'all got to see the blue steel side of my face out there in IG land. So back to the point. Now, eventually, after I got my highlights, I started understanding like, oh, the reason people aren't like buying in and doing these things and trying these things is because I never did the leader work of understanding how the change was going to impact their work or to tap into their ideas. And so eventually I figured it out. I had some coaching. Bryant Sanders has dramatically, David Verbal, major, massive impact in the way I operate. And some of like the plan without agreement is a wish. I stole that from David. That's a Davidism all day. Anyways, and so understanding the problem from multiple perspectives means, hey team, we just got this order to improve performance by 10%. This is our current performance. Here are some of the things that I believe are the contributing factors that keep us at 0 and we want to get to 10. How far off base am I? Right? Like that's a pretty manufactured, calculated conversation. But what it does is it invites them, and even more if I do it one at a time, right? I could do the group discussion that feels more efficient, but man, if you really want to get the meat, one at a time, one person at a time, one department at a time, one department head at a time, one individual at a time. I mean, the more granular you can get them, especially at this phase, the more impactful your efforts are going to be. And so I'll go individual, like, okay, here's the objective. Here's what we got to do. Here's some things that I see that I think are keeping us from achieving that, or some things I think need to change so that we can achieve the 10% improvement. What are your thoughts? How do you think these things are going to impact your work and your team's work? And then they get to tell me everything they need to tell me. Now, one, I got meaningful intel, and then I do that with everybody else, right? Or as many people as is reasonable. I get super valuable intel, and I've started the ball of building buy-in because I demonstrated to them that I appreciate and value their insight. And that's a big deal. I'm not saying that I'm going to take every single suggestion and every single idea and put it into the plan. Like, they won't, I promise you. Some people might be a little sensitive, but the fact that I took the time to ask them to get the feedback, to get the information, to understand how it's going to impact them and kind of give them an overview of the purpose is a huge deposit in the emotional bank account. All right. So then now I understand, okay, this is what I thought. Oh my God. Because guess what? I have blind spots. I bet you do too. And so they're also filling my blind spots. Then I say, okay, I got all this information from everybody. This has informed what we're actually what I'm going to recommend in terms of what we should deploy or what we should try, the countermeasures, the ideas, because they're not solutions yet. We haven't proven that they'll work. We think they're a hypothesis. This is the list of countermeasures that we're going to try. What do you think? All right. And again, they get to say, ooh, and I promise you, man, every time I've done this, when I do that socialization part of here's where we are, we talked about this, you gave me input, here's the compilation or distillation of that input. What do you think? What do you suggest? What's the pace we should do? By the time we hit go, everybody's on board. And the extra credit, if you say, hey, and I had a few ideas that were kind of in this bucket over here that I think are valuable, but not in phase one. Phase one, we're going to focus on this. And if these things produce the result we want, then we're going to look at phase two. And these are the ones that, like, I'm not ignoring you. Your ideas didn't suck. They just require a lot more resources, and we want to go fast. So we'll come back to these after we see what kind of effect these ideas have. And so maybe I need to say it more plainly. The reason nobody backs up your solutions is one of two things. One, it's because all the damn solutions you've had in your life were not freaking solutions. They were just ideas and theories that produced a lot of freaking activity that didn't bring any value to anybody. It's very likely that's why nobody's listening to you. Number two, it's because you didn't take any time, put in any work to understand the problem from multiple perspectives. Right? If you start doing those two things, one is just a shift in thinking, the other is a shift in behavior. The shift in thinking is every stupid idea I have is not a solution until I've proven that it impacts the outcome. The shift in behavior is, let me go take some time, 15-minute conversations. I mean, it's not a big, giant, heavy lift, to understand the perspective of the problem from multiple perspectives. Doing those two things will absolutely enable you, or we'll say decrease the amount of friction that you're experiencing in terms of rolling out your improvement ideas. Now, I do want to say this again because it's really important. New people, all my younglings out there, and people that are new to a position or new to a company, new to a team, like new, right? New to the industry, new to the organization, all of that. Pump your brakes, man. Like, for real, pump your brakes. I said it earlier, but I need to say it again because this mistake, it just undermines your credibility and causes like real frustration and self-doubt, which isn't healthy. And what I mean by pump your brakes is don't go in there swinging the freaking hammer, telling everybody how stupid things are. Even if they're stupid. Because I promise you, telling a dummy he's a dummy doesn't make him smarter. All it does is piss him off. And so my recommendation, and it's a practice that, especially now in the business that I do, coaching, consulting, etc., like I get invited into some pretty sticky situations. And I could, but that's not my style, to come in and tell everybody they're doing it wrong. I need to understand first, how are they doing it? How is it? What's working? What's good about it? And what are the tweaks that we can make to smooth it out and make it better to get them closer to the outcome that they want? Now, if you're new to the team, in terms of like you've been promoted, you've been switched to a new team, to a new project, you're new to the company, there's another level. You probably have a list of things that irritated you, that were inefficient, that were clunky, that were dumb, that don't make sense, that make it's just extra steps and all of that. And you probably think, man, they can't even see this. You're right, they're blind to it. They've been swimming in it. The first thing you need to do is just start generating a list. You don't need to tell nobody. Actually, don't tell anybody. Generate a list of all the funky, inefficient, clunky, irritating things that you're experiencing during your onboarding. Learn how to do it the way they are doing it. Learn their way first, because this will give you credibility. Like, man, okay, she's coming in and she's putting in the time. They're learning the thing, they're learning the way. And now you'll have actual valuable intel. It's not an opinion anymore. Look, I've been here 60 days. And in my 60 days, this is what I experienced. You're probably going to get a lot of people saying, yeah, that's how we've always done it. Yeah, that's the way it is. Yeah, I agree, kind of stinks, but this is, these are the workarounds. Awesome. I have an idea. What do you think? Like that, those two phrases, I have an idea. What do you think? After you've learned how to do it their way, because baby, you're in their house. You don't get to come in and say, why do you have those color curtains? And why do you have that sofa over there? Like, people ain't going to invite you back in if you do that kind of shit. And again, I want to just kind of repeat, like, new to the industry, new to the organization, new to the workforce, those are the groups that I see do this all the time. Like they can't help themselves. And I understand, like you really do care and you really do want to help. But that's not how it comes across. It comes across as you being a critical, highfalutin freaking snob that thinks their shit don't stink. Because you haven't put in the time to understand and get a grasp or some level of mastery of their current method. Once you have some level of mastery of the current method, now you have actual firsthand intel, not an opinion, not a judgment, but intel of, hey, look, I've been doing it this way and this is how long it's taking me. I've tried it this way and it's cut my time to do the thing by 20%, 15 minutes, an hour, whatever it is. Do you think it's worth us as a group looking at this, right? Test it out, verify that your way is indeed better, right, than the current way, and then roll that. Like that's how you build trust. That's how you cultivate relationships and start deploying solutions in such a way that you're not screaming into the void and nobody's listening to you. So that wraps up the idea I wanted to talk to you, right? If you've been wondering why nobody backs up your solutions, nobody listens, everybody's fine with the status quo, all of those things, everybody's so comfortable with we've always been doing it that way, it's easy to judge. And you're going to be frustrated forever if you stay there. But if you want to get out of that crap and you want to have a bigger impact and a better experience, shift your thinking. Not every idea is a solution until you've proven it, until it has proven to produce the outcome you're seeking. It's a countermeasure until you prove that it works. Then it's a solution. The behavioral change is understand the problem from multiple perspectives. Does it have to be every single damn human being in the world that's been impacted by the thing? No. I mean, that would be good, but there's time constraints. Just pick your people, take some time to understand the situation from their perspective. Take some time to socialize your thinking and the initiative on a one-on-one basis, because that's how you cultivate trust, that's how you cultivate buy-in, and more importantly, you'll get way better ideas to build into your problem-solving efforts. So if you like these types of conversations, or if you're new in leadership, or you've been in leadership for a long time, and you're looking for a community to have like super awesome conversations, or say, man, I'm stuck on a thing, I need some help, and you can't really do that with your current circle because you don't trust them, I'm inviting you to the Construction Leadership Lab. We meet a couple times a month. We got a newsletter, all kinds of super awesome stuff. Most importantly, it's a freaking community of OG leaders that want to leave the construction industry better than they found it. You're invited. Drop community in the chat or find the link in the thing. And I'll see you again soon. Later. Peace. Uh-oh. Now I got more buttons to push. Chicken butt.